But when that came back, kind of, fulfilling all my fears, I didn't have the same emotional and mental resources to cope, and that spreads to other things, in how you look at the world. And I didn't want my world to go in that direction. I didn't want to be afraid all the time.
Yeah. That's hard. I had the recurrence within 3 months.
We're Megan and Justin, husband and wife, dog parents, and partners navigating stage 4 melanoma, bipolar disorder, and living with parents.
On Between the Scans, we share what life really looks like between the appointments, talking through each of our perspectives on the moments that challenge us, the humor that keeps us steady, and the ways we stay connected side by side.
Welcome to Between the Scans. I'm Megan.
I'm Justin.
And today, I'm just so excited. No,
I'm back.
We also have with us today my mom, Deborah. Thank you for joining us again.
I'm very honored.
You were in episode 4. We had a really nice conversation. This is episode 6.
6?
And we had to have her back right away.
I'm so happy.
Well, we live together.
Yeah.
We have been through it together.
When you live together, you have a good topic to talk about with each other. We could get all of our perspectives, which I love. I can move that.
Yeah,
I put that in there. Yeah.
It just feels like it's in
Let's do it.
between us.
We can start. So just to rewind a little bit, and what we do talk about pretty often is that in 2022, May, I was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma. And at that time, I had surgery on my femur. So they went in right here. I had a rod put in. I had some hardware put in to provide support to my femur that was being eaten by the cancer. I went on immunotherapy treatment and then had radiation.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2023 was February, and I had received my 9th dose of immunotherapy, and my body was responding remarkably well. The issue was my pancreas was inflamed, so they diagnosed that as pancreatitis. My doctor decided to not move forward with infusions, to take me off immunotherapy. 9 rounds in, he felt very confident. So we stopped treatment in February of 2023, and then I had 6 months of clear scans. That was really exciting. And that was summer of 2023. And I remember it well because I had a lot of melanoma in my body, and we treated it. And then I celebrated, and we traveled for the first time in a few years. We left Michigan, we saw friends, I posted about it, and there's 2 parts that I want to talk about today. And one I am going to read off of it because it's easier than me explaining it. The melanoma was in my bone, and that was very significant.
From the beginning.
From the beginning.
Okay.
But repeated scans on your whole body, it's hard to read the bone region. And so I was clear of all of the areas, but they still couldn't tell if there was activity on my femur and in this area. Nothing bad was happening. I was responding well to treatment. I didn't have that same pain. I didn't have anything that indicated it was still there, but they still can't give you a 100% that it's gone from your bone. I want to take a minute and I want to read why. This is something I've learned about and I wanted to share with everybody. Scans like CT, MRI, and PET cannot guarantee that melanoma is completely gone from the bones. Bone is dense and complex, so imaging can't always tell the difference between active cancer, dead tumor tissue, or healing bone after treatment. There are a few key limitations. First, treatment causes inflammation and scarring, which can mask what's really happening. Second, scans can only detect tumors above a certain size, so microscopic cancer cells may still be present but invisible. Healing bone can show up as active, creating false positives, while some cancer cells don't light up at all, causing false negatives. And finally, bone itself is a complicated environment, making it harder to assess compared to softer organs like the liver. So while scans are incredibly useful, they can't give 100% certainty when it comes to bone metastases. I just remember after getting the clear from my scans and still going to some appointments and even the dermatologist, because I go to University of Michigan, they read my scans prior to my appointment, and there was still that like, oh yeah, you're doing great, but I felt like this could happen again and it could recur. And then on top of that, I felt like I exhausted the treatment that I was on, the immunotherapy, and I had gotten pancreatitis. So my mind goes, okay, reoccurrence, and then it goes, if I have a reoccurrence, how do I treat it?
Right.
Because I can't go back on that immunotherapy.
Right.
I wanted to talk to you both, I'll start with you, that I definitely was worried about a reoccurrence, but as my mom, and as you saw what we've been through and what melanoma had done, do you think about recurrence? Did you have any thoughts on what you thought could happen next, or were you in the moment? What did you think about?
The more I learned about melanoma at the beginning, the more afraid I was about recurrence, because they really have a hard time getting every cell of melanoma regardless of what the treatment is. And that's because it's a very aggressive cancer. So I never, to this day, fully relax. I think that there's a kind of a learned trauma through the whole thing that you really can't let go of, that low-level anxiety that this can happen again. It happened again after that 6-month period, and I'll tell you, I think it was at the end of that, when you had the reoccurrence, I went to therapy because until then I really felt like, I've got this. I'm handling this. I'm staying positive because, Megan makes it easy. She's positive. So, we're good. But when that came back, kind of, fulfilling all my fears, I didn't have the same emotional and, mental resources to cope. And that spreads to other things, in how you look at the world. And I didn't want my world to go in that direction. I didn't want to be afraid all the time.
Yeah. That's hard. I had the recurrence within 3 months. Were you worried about a recurrence?
Yeah, I was really worried. I've been worried the whole time.
I didn't want to ask you, either of you, because it's just too much. You kind of have to, you just plow through it. And I know that I know I'm going to be fine, everybody. I'm going to be fine.
I was still worried even when you, reassured us that you would be fine. I still was worried because you weren't fine.
Right. I was worried that if it recurred, how would I be treated?
What form of treatment?
What form of treatment?
Right.
Can they still do radiation, I've had it on so many areas of my body, and then the immunotherapy drugs that I was on, I got pancreatitis. So I didn't know if I could use other options. So we worked through it mentally,
Options.
but then before I even, could think about it too much, a recurrence happened.
Right.
So, well, that's what I want to talk about because it's a scary thought. It's in the back of your mind. It's in the back of other people's minds. People go through this. They're trying to manage it. They're trying to be positive. And so where my recurrences happened, where I got 2 spots in my leg, and one was right here, if you can see that, but the dimple and the scar tissue. And then I have one spot right here, which is harder to see. It's hard. It's from scar tissue. It used to be a lot more painful. It's not as painful, but it's a rock. It's a solid bump.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah, and right here. So, but it's gotten better. It's gotten better. It doesn't bother me as much. But when we did get the recurrence, my doctor said that happens and was very supportive and reassuring. And what was really nice is that he told me we would get radiation. And I already had a radiation team. So I had been through it.
Yes, not like starting over.
No, I had a doctor
Every
for
first
it.
time.
It seems simple.
The-
whole
the
treatment,
nurses-
everything.
But radiation was very traumatizing for me the first time because I was essentially shrink wrapped
Right.
like a steak in the freezer because it had to reach specific areas of my spine. And they have to keep you completely still in the position. They wrap you up in the plastic and they push a button and it shrinks. Shrink wraps around you and you're getting uncomfortable. I know we talk about this because you're claustrophobic and you wonder
Yeah.
sometimes how I can get through all of these tests. So I had that done with radiation when I was first diagnosed, but that's always my question. I just want to make sure I'm not getting shrink wrapped. And then originally when I was diagnosed, this leg got a lot thinner than this leg, and it's almost, I think, back to,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
remember that? It was cut really thin. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm losing this weight. That's why. So I did have the recurrence, and I have since been back on immunotherapy. I went on a different one the second time because my doctor shifted because my original doctor retired, and my new doctor felt it was important for me to go back on immunotherapy. We just went on a different one, and I had some side effects, but it was very successful until the recurrence. Let's talk
Kidney,
about
you
this.
mean.
Yes, I had
Yeah, the
another
kidney.
recurrence, and that was in my kidney.
Well, that's the one I meant seemed easy with radiation.
Yes, so I had that recurrence, and that was another one where radiation was an option, and my doctor didn't push me to it. She suggested going back to the original immunotherapy drugs, and she left radiation up to me.
And what did you decide?
I decided to do radiation.
She did.
I wanted to just get it gone.
And it worked.
It worked. I'll tell you, I do the intense radiation that lasts 2 weeks, 5 rounds every other day for 2 weeks. Another time we'll get into the steps of radiation because there's a lot that goes into it, but I've had a lot of success from it, or a lot of positive results, and so that is part of the treatment I had for my kidney, as well as I went then back on the original drugs that I got pancreatitis on. I went back on those drugs last fall, last July, August, and I went on
We
back on those
chose to
drugs.
do those drugs.
Yes,
so
that's
what I
true,
mean.
yes.
She didn't put, like, she asked if you wanted to go back on them.
Yes, and I was hesitant only because of pancreatitis. I was scared. See, this is where you come to be where, what if I have recurrence? What do I do? Do I go on immunotherapy? And I went back on the original drugs. And I'm still
and you
on
said
it.
at the time, because they worked so well.
Yes.
Yes.
And so you were excited even, you said, to get back on the original
Yes.
drugs.
Yeah.
I went back on the original drugs, and that was quite a ride. It took 4 rounds before I didn't feel good, which is normal. And then I had also at the same time gone through the radiation, which was great. And that meant the kidney tumor was going to shrink and then go away,
Which it did.
which it did. Right?
Yes, I see you. Yes, it did.
So, recurrence happens, side effects happen.
Right. So how do we cope?
You know what I do?
What do you do?
I do things that make me happy,
Yeah.
right? I
Right.
have fun. When you've been going through this, you can't plan. You can technically plan, but then those plans can go up in flames as
Right.
quickly as
Appointments.
scans, appointments, scan results, or, I've had recurrences where I had to start treatment, and I mean, you can't always plan. But what we started doing, I remember last summer, is I shifted my mindset. And we started doing things a lot more to have fun. We started going to the movies more, summer blockbusters all last year. Jurassic Park, Superman, and there was a lot. Anyways, we'd
That's
go to
right.
early movies.
Mega
Yeah.
something. Mega.
No, there was something like that.
And then we saw them
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. That's what I call us at home. Steve, Justin, myself, and my mom were the Fantastic Four because we get through everything. We saw movies. We went at 8:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
like on a Saturday when no one was there. It's the best time to go.
Every time. It's not
Every
just
time.
once.
No, we
We
went,
figured out that is
Oh.
a really nice time to go.
and the bathrooms are clean.
Yeah.
You get fresh popcorn. Everyone's fresh as a daisy. It's great. So we started going to movies and just doing things, having fun, outdoor activities, and making plans. I think you have to make plans. That's what gives you
I was shocked
fun.
how you would make these plans to go somewhere. We're going to Tennessee in 2 months, and I would think she doesn't even know how she's gonna feel.
Right.
How
True.
could she make these reservations and stuff? Usually you drove, but still there were
Yes.
hotels involved,
Yes.
and you were arranging work and you went. And sometimes even when you were traveling for work, like to Las Vegas, on a plane, and we kept Taylor here, I thought, how does she know she's going to be okay? Because sometimes you had a huge lethargy after a treatment, and sometimes you didn't. So sometimes you felt well, sometimes you were down for 3 days. So how did you know that you could be okay and tell everybody at work, I'm coming to the conference? I just am in awe because I couldn't believe that you could really do that, and you did it.
I just,
True.
that's true, I did it. Well, I couldn't do it for so long. I couldn't.
Right.
Meaning,
Right,
I
you
couldn't
were
travel.
really sick and really.
I
I
couldn't.
remember your first conference was in Michigan that we went to, or you went to.
And I limped. I went there. I was just limping along. I was okay. I had a really good time.
Yeah, that's the
It was
one where
important.
you and I had a big fight because I suggested you use an electric cart.
Oh yeah, you were so anti.
Oh,
And Megan
no.
wouldn't talk to me for like half a day because that was so insulting because you wanted to be so strong and forward.
Yes. Oh
thinking.
no, I did not. No, you guys make suggestions, and I.
And I could see you tooling around the place. You have to coordinate a lot of stuff at the conference. No. She refused, and she got really angry with me. So we learned not
We
to
only
do that.
suggest things that Megan will like.
Right.
You know that.
Don't suggest about any aids.
No
No.
support. Well, I spent a lot of time going to infusions in a wheelchair. I mean, went to the hospital appointments at the cancer center, and I was using a walker at home or just getting around, limping around. And when I got to the hospital, there was too much walking and standing, waiting in line. I needed support and I had to be in a wheelchair, and I never liked that. There's nothing wrong with it. It just, when you don't feel good and it's for cancer treatment. So when I was able then to start traveling,
And going to
I
and working
did
these conferences on her own 2 feet.
I got shoes, I got outfits, I took my Advil. I then sometimes got sick after. We went to Tennessee last year. We had the best time of our lives, went to Franklin and Nashville. And as soon as I got home, I crashed for several weeks, working from bed and just not feeling good. And that was a normal reaction from infusions after the 4th round, which I got through the 4th round. And then I just get through it. I have to make the plans, because if I can't go, I can't go, but I move forward like I'm going to go. And we've already made plans for next year's Boston Patriots Day Red Sox game in Boston. I mean, I do plan things that are cancelable. I don't do non-refundable. I think every hotel has to be
camping
cancelable.
trip in October.
Yeah,
So you can make that.
we're going camping for your birthday because you love camping. I love it. I'm supportive.
Yeah.
So I think we've gone through recurrences, and we have to live in the moment
Yes, and celebrate.
and celebrate.
Every
I don't wait.
day.
I don't wait a year. There's no 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. I am saying it's Friday and I'm going to celebrate. Or
It's Monday and we're going to celebrate.
my blood is good. I'm going to celebrate.
And we look at every day though,
every day
as-
yeah,
an opportunity for joy.
every single day.
Every day. I'm someone who lives for I like to anticipate the future, whether it's good or bad.
Yes.
And
And you plan for the bad.
right,
I mean,
do.
when I was really sick,
Even when you're not really sick, I plan for the bad. I feel like, it sort of inoculates me against the surprise.
prepared. Yeah, you don't like that.
I don't like, but unfortunately, if you really continue that, you lose the ability to enjoy the moment. So that was the lesson,
Yes.
I think, for me personally at least, was to really enjoy where I am and where we are right now.
Which is great, and we look forward to every day
We do.
and being in it. So I'm feeling good, which is incredible. I am in infusions every 4 weeks and scanned every 3 months. But I have a lot of different scans, so sometimes it's more frequent. So because I have multiple MRIs, because I have CT scans or PET scans or whatever, mammogram, all of that kind of stuff. So we don't have more scans until July, but it's going to come up quickly because we're getting to the end of June. But yeah, I really wanted to just talk to you both because I remember getting that 6-month excitement and huge, remarkable news that you just always yearn for and want. But being a cancer patient, there's more that comes with it. And moving along. And so my kidney spot is gone. And my doctor calls me stable, which is fantastic. I still
Stable.
I am
She
stable.
would say remission if she could.
We're here. We're in the now. We're in melanoma, and we're stable. Everything that they see on the scans is either stayed the same or isn't there, but they see little things here and there, but nothing that's remarkable, nothing that I need to get treated, just what has been there either from the beginning or has come up just in bits and pieces. And then the spot on my spine they watch closely as well. So that's the other thing that I have going on is a spot on my spine. And then they always, like to take pictures of this area. You never know. I've been working really hard to build this side up.
Yeah.
So that's showing in the scans. They're seeing that. I'm
Right.
building up my butt. I'm building up
Yeah.
this area. I'm getting more strength in my
Amazing.
hip.
Yoga.
And every day. we start with the yoga, and I'm in love with life. But I think at first when you were hearing us, not just we were doing the yoga, but that, what are they saying? I'm sure you were like, what are they doing? And then we told you. But
Yeah, I hadn't heard you do affirmations before.
no, this is new.
It was such a good thing to find.
Well, like,
Yoga with affirmations.
yes,
Who knew?
I didn't know. I did not know. So. All right. Well, I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And we appreciate you.
We appreciate one another.
And Henry and Taylor.
And Taylor.
Henry
That's
and
right.
Taylor's over there. All right. Thank you for joining us again.
It's my pleasure to be here.
We love it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you.
See you next time.